All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back. It's Nailed and Screwed. And as always, I don't mean that kind of nailed and screwed, so move along, you freaking perverts. On this show, we'll share some of the wild stories that take place during construction, flipping, and other side jobs conducted by my man Chris and his crew of expert general contractors. We'll also throw in a couple of informational sessions when it comes to the flipping business and share some ideas on what it takes to become successful. As for me, you can call me Captain Morgan, and I'll be alongside Chris asking the stupid, unexperienced questions. And because I don't know shit about shit, Chris will probably answer some of those questions and hopefully answer some of your questions. So with that, let's jump into it. So I'm going to start off with
A question.
questions.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with some questions.
I like questions, actually.
Again, can you guess who sent some questions in?
Mom Dukes?
Yeah.
All right.
Mama Dukes. So first question is, do you still own the properties in Philly and the properties at the shore that you've already pretty much talked about?
I do not own any more properties in Philly.
No more properties in Philly.
Nah, they're all gone.
It's probably a good move. Maybe.
Yeah. So I flipped some, and the one I originally bought and the two vacant lots, the one on each side. So I ended up with, all three like I talked about last time. I ended up getting them to my dad. So we'll get into this progression, obviously, but when my dad graduated from college, he so we ended up coming up with a deal, and there was something that I didn't know of at the time. So there's something called a gift of equity. Mm-hmm. Basically, if you have a family member that, like, let's just say we were brothers, and I had a house and it's worth $100,000, and I owe, let's say I want to give it to you for $50,000. Mm-hmm. You can apply for a mortgage for $50,000, right? You don't have to put any fucking money down for closing or anything,
right?
Because there's so much equity in the property. I'm basically handing the equity that I had, because I had possession of it. Mm-hmm. I'm handing it over to you. So my dad was able to get the house. I think we did a mortgage for like $60,000, and he was able to get the house for $60,000. Didn't have to pay out of pocket for anything, and he's actually able to take some money out because of the equity.
Okay.
So he walked home with a fucking property and a check at the end of the day.
Okay. So he made money from it.
Yeah. So he got money. So, and he ended up living. He ended up staying there. So I gave them the rest. I sold to other people. The shore property, I do own the one with me and Luce, and then me and my three business partners, Tracy, Brian, and Adam, we own one also on the same street. So there's two houses.
Oh, you got two on the same
street. Yeah.
At the shore.
At the shore.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have two other rentals in Bristol around here. But everything else is all flipped pretty much.
So you got 4 rentals total right now.
Yes.
All right, so 4 properties.
Yep. Yeah, so I have,
and they're all your. Well, how many of them are currently rented out? All of them, or is the shore ones like seasonal?
It's seasonal, but we rent both of them during the winter too.
Okay,
so
that's right. You do the
like
contractors.
That's all started.
And stuff like
Yeah, or people fucking not leaving and shit. Yeah, we get that too.
What was that? I don't even remember what episode that was.
Number 1. So yeah, so we have right now. Me and Luce's is fully occupied. That's fine. We have people actually working and paying, and then the one we have our business partners. We have somebody in there. We're doing a little bit of work. We had to make some corrections because this is right where the time is you have to get your license renewed. Mm-hmm. So June you have to get it all renewed. So we're doing a little bit of corrections there, and that'll be up and running.
Okay.
The ones in Bristol are fully populated. They're
out. They're rented out.
Yeah. We have decent tenants there too.
That's good. Now, just coming out of that, when you do a rental, you do like an agreement, right?
Oh, yeah.
How long it is? Or do you have to renew it? Just a year?
Usually a year lease, yeah. And then depending on the wording in there, you could it may automatic when the lease is up, it could say it automatically rolls over to month. Some leases will say another year goes. It all depends on how you word it. You can
Yeah.
word the hell out of these things.
Okay.
But we've had issues at some of the one in Bristol, but previously we had to evict somebody. So that got a little weird. But I mean, I don't really handle the ones in Bristol. I'm not the hands-on Tracy and Bride deal with that. I'm just more on the outside looking in, more collaboration kind of stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you got to break up the responsibilities a little bit. Otherwise, everybody's going to be overwhelmed if they're doing all this thing or that thing. So,
Yeah.
But
all right.
What other questions?
Yeah, one more.
Uh-oh.
So
that was an easy one.
This one, I don't know. This one might not be that bad, but
a little abstract.
It's probably it's basically, what's the future of the company? Like, what's your dream?
Take over the world.
I mean, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy, but yeah, like, what's your end goal? Like, what's your what are you looking at?
It's funny.
You want to own the whole entire county at some point, or move into another county, or
just so whatever, almost 10 years ago or something like that. I wrote a business plan for like a one-stop shop when it comes to construction, flipping, real estate, rental, property management, like all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So my business plan to graduate when I was at Drexel, I wrote that. So that was the plan.
Based off of that, then.
Yeah, and as we continued to move forward and now have partners, like it's still kind of that still is the plan. Like we had the construction, we have flipping, we just bought our first commercial property.
Yeah, congratulations on that.
Yeah, in Fertile Hills. So we're doing some stuff there, but that's our actual home base. So we have the garage there. We have the house in the front. The house in the front, we kept the one tenant.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a car title company.
Okay.
So they're doing that right now. We're going to try to rent the other side. But the goal is to bring real estate in too. Like we want to be able to buy, sell properties just like a realty company.
Okay.
So that's a whole other faction.
Yeah. So you're going from, or the idea is to go from flipping, construction, to actually buying the properties and owning them and renting them out, or
yes, I'm talking more or less like, say you want to buy a house, you come to us and we're your realtor.
Yeah, okay.
So that's like the next piece, right?
Gotcha.
And then there's like some type of property management because we want to be able to support other investors because other investors are looking for little things or just maintenance, upkeep, and shit like that. So basically, you pull into our business and it can service an investor, it can service a guy or girl looking to buy a house.
That's good.
You need a bathroom.
You got all the angles.
That's where this is envisioned to go.
Okay.
So anything can be handled. It's like Walmart. It's like like
Walmart
fucking
of,
you know what I mean?
estate.
Or it's like Amazon.
Yeah,
that was my whole thought process in school. I was like, why is Walmart great? It's not like it's like, oh, they have this or they're cheap. Like they have all these different things,
Everything
but
now.
it's because you can walk in there and get basically almost whatever.
Yep.
Just like Amazon, right?
Shop,
You go there. People don't want to be riding around.
Nah.
I remember that. Me and Luce used to go to the fucking grocery store all the time. We go to 4 stores in a day.
Just to get the right ingredients.
Like dollar store for this shit that who cares, right? It's go to the meat store for this, go to Giant for this, go to Sam's for this, go to the sausage place for that. It's and next thing you know, 8 hours went by.
The day's
and I'm
done.
like, fuck, man. We drove over there. We loaded up. We had to unload. We drove over there. I'm individually packing meat and shit. And I'm like, damn, can't we just go to one place?
That's wild.
So, but it makes sense, right? You go to one place, it cuts down all the time.
Yeah, you don't get that. I don't know. Is there any? I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's any company like that right now, at least in this area. But
There's a couple people I've noticed on Facebook that are that direction and doing some stuff.
Okay.
I don't know them
like the
personally.
Real estate's probably a big part of it. Though.
Real estate and there's some construction, right?
Because usually it's like you go to the realtor, they know somebody, and
that's
they
the
know
point,
somebody.
right?
But here it'll be all, like you said, one-stop shop.
Yeah, and instead of like there's realtors I know, and they say, oh, I know Jimmy, I know Johnny, I know just blah blah blah. Yep. But just they give you a number, you're not going to get the same priority.
Can't get it all there at one time, which nobody's got time for all that crap these days.
No,
just tell me what I need, do it all. I want the house, flip it, fix this, fix that.
Some people think too, if they manage all this stuff, they can save money, which they probably can.
Yeah.
And if they're good at managing, they're used to it.
It's like a bundle package now. Or it could be.
You don't got to chase down so-and-so for that. You just call me.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, you're almost there. It's getting there for sure.
It's getting there. It's definitely fun.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are pretty happy for you, and I've seen a lot of good comments, so it's good shit.
Yeah, and having my partners now helped. Like, you know, I could have kept the way I was going, and I'd have been perfectly fine. But to expand to another level, to try to get to where I needed to, I always envisioned doing it on my own. Which
but that's like every big business has. They start out with a CEO, the guy that invented it or the girl that invented it, and then it reaches out and they start hiring people to do those things.
See, that's the thing. There's two ways, right? There's hire people and pay them money.
Yeah.
And they'll do a good job, probably. Or you share some of your ownership.
The investment, yeah.
Because now you have partners and they are invested in the company.
Yep.
They're going to care more now.
Yep.
And that's the way I took it. And people can debate that. I don't really give a fuck. But I know that at least now with this group of four, whenever something has to happen, we're together.
Yeah.
And some people are like, oh, why can't you do it on your own? Like, I don't give. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I chose to do. If you want to be one man gang, go be one man gang, and that's fine.
That's a good move.
Yeah. So that's the plan.
I like it.
That's the plan.
Keep
them coming. Keep them coming, Mom.
That was the question. Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
So are we back in Philly?
We're still in Philly, man. Okay. We're going to be there for a little bit.
Yep.
As far as the stories go, so I know we had Tracy on last week or last time.
Yeah, Tracy.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show.
So at that point now, we're starting to build my first house up. We get the 2 lots like we talked about, but now the focus is shifting a little bit. Like the whole focus was like, get this done, try to make money.
Yeah.
And
you took some time with that last one too, because
I'm still in
that's where you learned how to do it.
Yeah, I'm still in it. Like, and full disclosure, that house took me 4 years to finish.
Right.
So
the market turned.
Well, but the way I did it, right? And some people are like 4 years holding costs. Look, dude, it is what it is, right? Yeah. I'm not ashamed to say it because I learned a lot.
Yep.
I also learned, my my street intelligence increased. All right, I already had some from my family growing up, but that increased. But I started seeing the way the neighborhood was living, how they see things, how people are growing up there. And it made me look at the world a little different, I'll say. Yep. I'm not trying to get all but it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot more kids running around there. And the kids there are different than the kids we grew up with in the suburbs. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's a little harder, right? It's a little, the finances are a little lower. But these kids are hungry. Like,
yeah.
They'll come up 8, 9 years old, like, yo, can I get a job? Like flat out, like talking to you like you're a man. And I'm like,
it don't happen around here.
But I loved it though.
Yeah.
Like, I had no kids at the time, right? But I love the fact that these kids are showing ambition, like, whatever. So I'd give them whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, whatever it is. Sweep this, move that, clean it.
Pick this up real quick.
Yeah, and they play, give them a couple bucks.
$5, $10.
And then it was like every time I'm like, fuck, man, I got, But it was cool though. I loved it, man, because I liked helping the kids, and it wasn't me trying to show out or nothing. It was just me being me.
Yeah.
And they were just asking, so it just worked out. But it got me a little closer to the community because they kind of they were able to see the person I am.
Yeah. Word of mouth too.
Yeah, and then even some of the guys.
Where'd you get that $10 from?
Yeah. Like, this kid over there.
That white boy down the street.
Yeah. That's all I got. but so like then the adults, I became cool with them too, and they'd see me and my uncles out there, and everything was good at that point. I mean, like I said, Tracy was a huge bridge.
Yeah.
But once I was allowed to quote unquote step in there, and then I was just me and my uncles. My uncles get along with anybody.
Yeah.
They make anybody laugh. The twins, But at that point, it was just Mike and Joey. But then Uncle Tommy gets out. So he was a big lift, right? Yeah, he graduated. So he was a big lift coming out of there. Little Tommy went in, Uncle Tommy comes out. So he comes out. So now he's helping. So we're really starting to build now. Going forward with the house, because Uncle Tommy knew a little bit about everything at a pretty good level. So we're going through it. We're building the house up. And but now like people are starting to like ask if we do work in there and all, and I'm like, Yeah. But this is kind of where it starts brewing to where now I'm doing starting to almost think about doing contracting jobs, because I had no interest in doing side jobs.
Yeah, we were just
I want to flip, get in, get out, get out of there,
get the
right?
money. Yeah.
But now my job, my 9 to 5, I get promoted there. I start doing good there. Start making more money there, and then I'm talking to anybody and everybody about real estate and flip. Like I didn't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah.
And then people that I knew around here started like, "Hey, can you do a bathroom?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we started. So it starts picking up. Now I'm getting more business there. I'm getting promoted at work, so money's coming in more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm still taking that time in that house, but now I'm looking at other properties. Now I'm digging into how do I?
Yeah, because you're learning a lot.
I'm learning the real estate game now,
and you're
so
like, oh well, I can do that.
Yeah,
and I got money and I can afford it, so why not?
Yeah, so it was better. Like I'm not balling, but I'm able to carry the cost of that and take my time
and plan for it better.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm seeing that, and I'm digging more into the tax sales. I'm digging more into how Philly works. I'm digging more into dealing with L&I, license and inspections, right? So I'm learning all that, and that's a huge thing because just dealing with license and inspection and learning Philly is an animal.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Just like dealing with some of the townships out here.
Yeah, because it's just I feel like city rules, laws, whatever, are 10 times different than your
and there's so much going on.
Suburban county. Yeah.
I had somebody slapped a lien on my property down there. I tried to finally get the water service put in, and they're like, "Oh, you owe money for this lien." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
I think I read about that. Like, before you buy a property, you got to check to make sure there's not a lien on it.
But this happened after the fact.
That don't make any sense.
No. So we're going through it, and I'm like, and they're like, "Well, you blah blah blah, you got to pay." I said, "How the fuck did you do this work for allow me to do this work on the plumbing if I owed something before?"
Right.
So of course, when you state facts, no one wants to hear it. So I'm like, "Fuck it." I take off from work. I drive down to the city, try to figure out anybody under the sun. Nobody can answer the question.
Yeah.
I come all the way back. I find out within the water department, there's a law department just for the water.
Wow.
Somehow someone screwed up on me owing like $100, which is what it came down to.
And that turned into a lien on the property?
Yeah, and I couldn't go anywhere. So the guy was like, "Oh, wait, you don't owe this." I'm like, "I know I don't fucking own it." I said, "I'll pay it because the $100."
Yeah.
He got it wiped away. So it all went, but it was all these little things that was happening. Okay. So, we're around at this point. We're getting close to the house finish, and I'm around 2011-ish, 2012, right? So like I said, around 4 years, right? So now, little Tommy needs to come out.
Yeah.
And he needs an address.
Oh, like a
for parole, right? So he's like, I need, blah blah blah, and he was always into different shit, so he really didn't have anybody that would be willing to give him an address at the time, right? So I'm like, look, you can stay, and he was locked up in Philly, so it made it easier. I was like, you can stay here in Philly, and you just live there. I said, I'll continue to pay the mortgage. I said, you just got to take care of the utilities and all that. Mm. So I ain't making no money off this, mind you.
Family.
Yeah. Which it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst either. But I got, this is him. He's like, oh, it's going to work. And now he's in the halfway house. He's in Kentuck, right? I think that's on B Street off of Allegheny.
Okay.
So I'm picking him up on the weekends to go help me go to work and all, to get him out of there so he has somewhere to go. So we're playing that game. So he's there for whatever, almost a year or something like that. And around that same time now my dad's getting ready to come home.
Oh, my goodness.
Right? So my dad was gone from 2000, and this approaching 2012, 2013. So little Tommy's now staying at my house in Philly.
Yeah.
My dad ended up going to the same place in Kentuck.
Okay.
Right? So we're playing the same shit.
Yeah.
I'm writing business checks to get him out so he can go to work, which he was helping me. No lie, but we got to do that game.
No more. Wasn't he like mailing you drawings or something?
Drawings.
So no more of that.
Fucking phone calls.
Real time.
Now he's there.
Yeah,
now
real time.
Now he's fired up, right? So he's coming. We're getting him out on the weekends.
Was he looking at your work and being like, "Oh, you fucked this all up,
dude?
Chris,
why don't you do this or
that?"
Did
when I told you, I mailed it shit to you.
I'm like, Dad, I understand what you're saying, but did you ever have your friend on the roof with jumper cables trying to get electricity and cut something at the same time?
Right.
So, again, I'm growing up through this. Like I always said that. Obviously, I'm from the suburbs, but from a business standpoint in construction, like I grew up North Philly as far as that goes. Okay, I'm from here. I'm not trying to claim it, but as far as the business end goes and how to operate, how to build, that's where I grew the fuck up.
Yep.
And once getting through that section of North Philly and that time period, I'm like, I can fucking go I can
do anything.
I ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah.
So it was a really great learning experience as a person and from business and construction. So my dad's coming the weekends. My cousin's living there. Cousin really isn't doing everything he's supposed to be doing. Whatever. I'm not going to get into that. So he was kind of pissing me off. So we had battle here and there. But we got to do our roof, right? Because Sandy came around 2012.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
So I had to get my shingles replaced and all that. So I'm doing my roof. And this is a great story.
This is at the shore, right?
No. This is Fairless Hills.
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be a really good story. So Tracy comes down. I pick him up. And our guy became friends with down there named Benny, and Benny was a friend of Tracy's, right?
God,
so,
these fucking names are awesome.
Yeah. So they come home with me, right, to help me work on the roof. I got a whole bunch of people. It's about to be 97 degrees, I think, that day.
Nope, I'm out.
So
I'm
everybody's helping me for free, right?
Okay.
And I have about 12 people there that day. And everyone's, you don't need 12 people on the roof. Well, you do when it's 97 because no one's going to get fucked up and no one's going to get burnt out.
There you go.
Right?
Good
Bruce was there. Fucking all my uncles were there. All 4 of them were there.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody's there to help. My dad's there yelling, fucking giving orders. He's fucking screaming, no shirt on. He was a maniac, right?
Wild.
But prior to that, right, we're getting ready to go to sleep. And Benny gets a phone call from his wife and he goes, yo, I got to go home. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's 2:00 in the morning. Like, we got to wake up in about 4 hours, start the roof. And he goes, yeah, well, she just got jumped.
God damn.
I go, So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, driving North Philly. How's this going to go? Got to be up in 4 hours. Got to do a roof. It's going to be 100. But you know me. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I wake Tracy up. I'm like, let's go. He's like, what's wrong? I go, China got jumped. I'm like, we got to go down there. Benny, I was like, and I drove them all down. So I was like, we got to go. I was like, you can't leave. Like, I know you can't leave her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so we get to the neighborhood, right? And he lived 2 blocks from the house that I was working at.
Okay.
Which is 2 blocks from where Tracy lives at. So So it's 2:00 in the morning. Yeah. We park on Myrtle Street. We walk down the block, and Tracy's like, I'm going over here for a second. I'll be right back. And I'm like, all right. So me and Benny continue to walk. I'm walking to his house.
Yeah.
So
I'll be right back.
I'm like, all right. I wasn't even questioning it, but we get on the block and we're walking up, and there's all these girls out front, and they're just like, blah, blah, talking shit and all this. Like, they must have called these dudes to come, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
wow. So they're all still there too.
Oh, this was within, oh, yeah. Well, here's the best part. So apparently the people next door were having a party, and that's who she got in a fight with.
Okay.
So they weren't going nowhere.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere.
Neither is she. She lives there, and her sister, right? So I'm staying quiet. I ain't poking the fucking bear, but at the same time, like I said before, I ain't no pussy. So, so we walk in the house. There's fucking blood all over the floor.
Damn.
Like, not like death, but you know what I mean? It's leaking. Yeah.
Once
everyone's all fired up.
You pop a nose or something like that. That thing's
crazy, right? So we're sitting there asking questions. What's going on? I'm like, all right. Then Tracy walks in the door.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back. So we're talking. He's like, all right. He's pretty calm, and I'm just like, all right. And he goes, so we're sitting there talking, and I'm like, well, what are we doing? In my head, I'm like, all right. So we know what happened to her now. I'm like, Benny, you staying? Like, because
we got work to do.
I don't want to act like an asshole, but I do have to do this roof tomorrow. Like, it's happening. Like, shingles are coming.
She's good. She's all taped up. Let's go.
So Tracy goes, I'm going to walk back to the block. And I'm like, all right, I'm going with you. I'm like, Benny, you good? He goes, yeah, I'm staying here. So, so me and Tracy walk outside, right? Now I look this way and I look this way. And it's one of those small streets, right?
Yeah.
I may exaggerate, I may not. There's approximately 10 dudes walking this way.
Uh-oh.
And there's approximately 10 dudes walking this way. And we're in the middle. So I'm like, which way you want to go? He goes, we'll go over to, what's that one? I forget. I can't remember the other block. So we walked to the end we walked out this to the left of the house. So we're walking, and I know the dudes are coming up from behind us. So I'm kind of like, moving. My head's always moving.
Yeah, head on a swivel.
Yeah. And the other people are coming towards us. So we cross the street.
So you don't know any of these dudes coming
Me?
at you right now. Anybody.
I definitely
Because I felt like you were going to say Tracy brought his whole crew and they were coming down on one side of the road.
I wish.
Yeah, no.
So because he's not saying, I'm waiting, right? I'm waiting too. I'm like, can someone say, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? I'm waiting for all that. So none of that's happening. So I'm walking and I'm looking at the dudes. They're looking at me and Tracy. And we just look at, and we literally just kind of just both walk by. And we get to the end of the block, to the basketball court. We walk up. And as soon as we make the right, I'm like, whew.
Breathe.
And I'm like, damn, man. Yeah. And he goes, this is why it's funny. He goes, you know why nothing happened? I go, no. And he goes, because you're here. I go, me? He goes, yeah. He goes, none of those dudes can know why a white dude is walking with me at 2 o'clock in the morning right now.
God,
and I go,
that's hilarious.
Well,
that works.
I go, all right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Now, again, I ain't out there naked.
I like how he said that, though.
No, he was dead serious.
Yeah, I bet he was.
He was dead serious. Now, I'm not out there naked at all.
Yeah.
But
2 in the morning.
2 in the morning, and you got enough people. I only got,
man.
there's only so many rounds.
Yeah.
So we go back to our now we go back to our street. So I'm outside talking with Trace, his brother and his mom and all that. So my cousin comes out because he was living at the house. He's like, yo, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, I told him the story. He goes, well, why don't you knock on the door? I'm like, well, you're on parole.
Yeah.
First of all,
yep.
I was like, it's probably not the best situation. He goes, Chris, he goes, this is way different. And I go, it is, but
it's all good.
I go, in this situation,
yeah,
I know you ain't got nothing on you. I said, and like,
yeah,
it's so he goes, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, I know you don't. I said, but I can't put you,
next time.
I'm not going to put you in that position.
Yeah.
Knowing that if anything goes down, you're definitely going away.
Just graduating, dude. Calm down.
So that happens, right? Everything kind of calms down a little bit. Call Benny. Nothing transpired, which was amazing.
Yeah.
He comes back to our street. We get in my car, and we're driving. And Tracy goes, "Is there a car following you?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right."
This is at 2 in the morning still?
Yeah.
Damn.
So we're trying to get back out of Philly now, right?
Yeah.
So I turn, he goes, "The car turned off?" He goes, I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right." I go,
the fact that he
why?
Recognizes this?
Yeah, but I go, "Why?"
Call it
he
out.
goes, no, so this is what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put all the business out there, but when he first left.
Okay. Here we go.
So when we were driving out,
yeah,
he had someone follow us to make sure nobody was on us.
Damn.
And I was like, all right.
That's right. That's
and me, him, and Benny are my little red Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like we're like, this is like one of those superhero movies, and they're outmanned, and then all of a sudden the whole second group comes in and like saves the day because he left for a second.
I said that. I said, next time, can you tell me that we do have backup?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was us three.
Yeah. Damn.
So, yeah. So, again, I built the suspense up, but yeah, nothing crazy happened, but it was
still.
It was an interesting night. Somebody was watching me.
You know why nothing happened?
Dude, that was funny as hell, man. I'm like, no, there's no fucking way.
But it makes sense. I mean, you don't see
because
that
it's confusing
kind of shit.
it was confusing, right?
Yeah.
They didn't get it. I mean, I don't look like a fucking rockhead, right?
Right.
Because clearly I'm not out there buying nothing, so they didn't know what was going on. So we drive all the way back, and again, now you can see where it evolved from. Right, this is supposed to be me down there working, whatever. I got me and Tracy are fucking tight now. Benny's cool. Like, they're staying in my house. They're helping me. Like, this is how this all evolved. And so we're coming down my street now, and my neighbor, the guy lived down the street from me, he was trying to back up his fucking Sea-Doos or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he was having a problem.
Yeah.
He kept trying to back up. He's fucking,
street.
you know what I mean? Yeah. He keeps so I'm just sitting there. I'm not even saying. I'm just sitting there in the car. And his window's down, and my window's down. And all of a sudden, he looks at me. He's like, "Go the fuck around." And I'm like, I'm not even like beeping or anything. But I know the frustration.
Yeah, it's bad. You're in the way.
So
you're making this shit harder.
So Benny and Tracy are like unlock. I'm getting the fuck. I go, no, hold on. I said, I live on the street. So I pull up real slow.
Go the fuck around.
I was laughing too. It was funny, but I pull up real slow and close to him.
Yeah.
I out to the window. I go, now why the fuck would I go around when I live 15 houses up there? And he's like, fuck. So he fucking backs up. So I drive. I go home. We Luce is there. She's like, everything all right? I'm like, yeah.
Everything's good.
Nothing bad.
Just some sea-doo problems.
So this is continuing. So everyone gets to the house like 6:37 in the morning, right?
This is getting ready for the roof.
Yeah, dad's there, right? They let him out because he's in a halfway house. They let him out that day to work, right?
Yeah.
So he's fucking charged up, man. So we tell him the story from that night.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. No, he's out of the halfway house. He's living with my grandmom now on house arrest.
Okay.
But he's allowed to.
He's moving up.
Yeah. So he goes, why didn't you call me? I go, well, again, that's like my cousin, right? I go, I don't know, man. I said, you're on house arrest. He goes, yeah, but you don't
This
go.
is different.
Yeah. Here's my dad, right? Chris, you don't go to prison. I do. I go, again, appreciate it, but it was kind of like we didn't have a lot of time to decipher who was doing what.
Yeah. We had to go.
So
next time.
So, again, and then I see it.
You don't go to prison, I do.
Yeah, so we start actually working on the roof, and I see the guy drive by that yelled at me the night before. So I tell my dad about it, and he's like, where'd you live? And I go, down the street.
Oh, God.
And he goes, I go, Dad, just fucking, can we finish the roof today, man? I was like, I got zero sleep, man. I feel like I hit
He
with a
was
baseball
charged
bat.
up for the day.
Oh, man, it was insane.
Where does he live?
Yeah. Yeah, nobody passed out, which was good. Everybody
good.
worked. We got the roof done. Yeah. It was all the shingles and all the plywood.
Okay.
So it was a one-day event, family affair and friends. So we get that done. Yeah, and house is livable. Little Tommy's living there. So we're good there, but now I'm getting ready now to buy another property.
Okay.
And it's one block over.
In Philly.
Literally.
Okay.
It's the next block. So
this is number 2?
This would be number 2.
Okay.
So I didn't sell the first one. I held it. I had the 2 lots, and now I'm looking at
you
this
had
shit.
your whole fucking.
But now I knew the process
family living
too.
in there too.
I know. So that's the best. Yeah, and that's the funny part. So right when I buy the next one, about 2-3 months later, little Tommy's coming off parole. My grandmom is selling her house to go live in like a retirement thing, whatever it is. So my dad needs an address.
Now it's like perfect timing for you.
So yeah, I'm like building my own halfway house here. so I told my cousin Tommy, I'm like, listen, you're getting off. So my dad's got to come on. He needs an address. He ain't moving in with me. Yeah. Because we're all the way out here, and me and my dad bump heads a lot.
You want to fix it?
Dude, I don't know, man. This fucking thing, I can't get it right. That one week it was perfect. Look at it.
It's because I fucking moved it today.
It's your fault, dude.
It is.
So yeah, so my dad ends up moving in, and it actually helped some because my uncles started staying with him sometimes. Yeah. So instead of all that traveling back and forth, they stayed with him and they could help work on the house. And then I get that one. I meet up with I start hooking up with this realtor. Her name's Sandra. I'm still randomly talked to her today. So she was a really cool realtor. She was from Philly, and we kind of hit it off. So she helped me buy the next one, and then I get another one on the street. So now I got fucking 2 lots, 3 houses. Okay. And we're working on these, and these are easy now. They're 14-foot wide, fucking, and you know the process.
The row homes, right?
Then I get another one.
Damn.
At the sheriff's sale for $6,000. Get a whole house for $6,000.
I love that sheriff's sale.
Yeah. Flip that. Don't do nothing to it. Gut it out. Flip it. Make like $20,000. Okay. Do it. Just fucking literally bought it, cleaned it out, and sold it as a shell.
All right.
Done.
Yeah, that's an easy one then.
Yep. Get another one up the block. So, I'm playing Monopoly now for real. So now I'm starting to like get addicted to the game. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I can buy a house.
Because you understand it, you're learning more, and it's just becoming easier.
Yeah, definitely. But and I'm in the neighborhood, like I have no problems going down there. Like I'll go down there randomly. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it got so cool at one point. we're doing the one house on the next block, and there was a lot of guys in the corner. They were hustling, right, and whatever. But the one kid that was working for him, this motherfucker must have walked 150,000 miles a day, right? Like just in this little fucking thing, drop, bags and all that shit.
Yeah.
So he comes over to me and he's like, "Yeah, man, they pay me $100 for today." And I'm looking at him. I'm like,
$100.
I've been here for 12 fucking hours, and you just made $100.
Damn.
You could have made the same, and all the miles you just walked.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that the mentality that he was in. But I got real cool with the guys that were hustling, and I don't know why. And they'd fucking chill at my house all night, right?
Yeah, that's why.
No, but they'd be out there, so they would be plugging their cell phones in out front.
Okay.
And they'd all be chilling there. And I'm thinking, this is great.
Yeah.
No crackhead's going to break in here.
Nah, nope.
So I pull up there. I can pull up there. A couple times. I'd be there at fucking midnight. I'd pull up.
Damn.
Just to check on to see how shit went the night before.
So you had like 24/7 security.
I
for
pull
free.
up and they're like, "Yo, what are you doing here?" I'm like, "I just want to check the house." They're like, "Yo, get off the fucking let them through."
Yeah.
I go in there, check my shit. All right, guys. You know what I mean? They're like, "You cool if we out here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll turn the front light on for you. You fucking charge your phones. I don't care."
That's the best, man.
My dad comes out. All these fucking guys are using your electric and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Dad."
Free security.
I go, "Dad, I know you're the street guy, but let me deal with the street, all right?" So I go, "Besides, we're jumping the meter anyway. I'm not even paying for the electric, okay?" So
it really worked out for you.
It worked out for everybody. Everybody was happy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it was real cool. But one of the really cool moments was Sandra's getting ready to sell the house. She's like, "I got a buyer coming through." I said, "All right, when?" Told me the day, whatever. I talked to the main guy in the corner, just kicking it and shit. And I was like, "Yeah, somebody's coming through, man. Hope they buy the house." Mm-hmm. He's like, "When they coming?" I told him the day. He goes, "All right, I got you." I go, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I'm going to make sure the block is clean, and I'll make sure we're not on it."
That's fucking...
And I go,
That's
"Really?"
amazing.
I go, "Nah, don't worry about it, man." I said, "It is what it is." He goes, No. He goes, "I'll make sure this shit's swept up." And he said, "We won't be on the block."
That's just straight respect, man.
And that, again...
Love it.
I'm just being myself. Like, I wasn't down there on tough guy shit. Wasn't trying to pay everybody off or nothing like that. But I think they saw too, like, again, as I moved over from Myrtlewood to Hollywood, all the little kids kept coming, you know what I mean? Like, they could see. It wasn't like I was down there in brand new shit, had all this money.
Nah, you weren't like, get off the street and
fuck
you
no, I
can't
don't
be
care.
here and blah, blah, blah. And, the typical bullshit that these suburban dudes
Even when I
probably
had Pookie running in the fucking house every time. This one lady, man, she... So I get the one house, right? And she comes flying down the street. "That's my cousin's house. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "The fuck just happened?" And she's in the house with us.
Yeah.
And it's me and my whole family. And she's zipping all up and down. I remember these curtains. I said,
"Oh, wow.
Look, we're gutting this fucking place. So anything you want, you could have." "Oh, okay." She takes the curtains and shit. I'm like, "All right." I come down again. Same shit. "Wow, my cousin, da-da-da-da-da." "All right. Do what you got to do." Third time, I come down right by myself. I pull up, doors open. I don't know how she saw me because we're on the same side of the street.
Yeah.
It's like she had a fucking mirror, like you're in jail. I go in.
Like one of those, yeah.
Yeah, I walk out. She comes flying up talking the same
Those
shit.
driveway mirrors so you can see angles.
Now I'm pissed off, right?
Yeah.
So
because this is the third or fourth time.
Yeah, so I'm in my car, right? So I pop my head up. I go, "What the fuck you doing?" And she's like, "What?" I go, "I just said, what the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, my cousin." I said, "Your cousin don't own this house."
Yeah, we've been there. We know that.
I go, "And you never know what someone has on them. It doesn't matter where they're from."
Yeah.
And she's like, "What?" And I go, "You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
so don't play
shit.
with me." And she's like, and she went home. And then every day after that, she'd be like, "Hey, Chris, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Pookie? How's it going?" I'm like, "Come on, man."
That's
like,
funny as shit.
And again, not trying to be that, but you ain't going to push me for so long.
No, especially you were there for a minute now.
At that point, I'm there now, right? People know me. I'm not just the fucking some white boy.
That's fantastic.
But so that's a good setting for that. I think next time we'll talk more. I got a little more involved into some community stuff.
Okay.
I tried to start reaching out to the city to start trying to gain properties through them. And
that's probably a fucking headache.
I'll give you the whole fucking story.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was the reason why I left. Like I had a whole plan there, and I'll get into all that the next time. But yeah,
they started making it difficult for you then, or just not.
I was trying to make some money, but I wasn't greedy, and I was trying to also do a lot of affordable.
Yeah.
for people, like affordable houses.
Oh, yeah.
Not bringing in like scumbag bullshit. Like if someone's charging, if the going rate was 180 at the time, I'd be at like 145, 150.
Okay.
And I don't think they understood how to take that.
Yeah.
So I wasn't no corrupt shit, but I'll give you all the ins and outs of how I dealt with the city and what I had to deal with. And there'll be some funny shit along the way too. But of course, right?
Good. All right. Philly.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, you start at one house, then you get a crew of the hustlers helping out the kids.
It was again, like I said, like it was a really good experience, and that's why I grew the fuck up there, like a lot of ways as a person, as trying to manage construction projects, learning how to build.
Yeah, and I think coming from all this, it's just like you take the time, and in time you'll gain the knowledge necessary to help you move up and succeed.
But it helped me as a manager too.
Yeah,
like all this shit that I was doing, it was actually helping me at my day job. So every time I was doing better in real estate or construction, I was getting promoted at work. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was just happening all over. It was hand in hand.
That's good.
So.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, moving on up.
Moving on up to the east side.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it then. We'll talk more about Philly next time. And thanks again, Mom, for the questions.
Yep.
Tracy for stepping out and grabbing his crew to make sure everyone else got out safe.
He's probably gonna be mad at me for telling the story without him, but we'll get him a call back in or something. I was gonna
say we'll have him back on sooner or later.
He was slick with it.
That's funny. And just remember, if you ever see a black guy and a white guy at 2 a.m. in the street, something ain't right. So
you don't know what's going on.
Just turn the other way or walk right by.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for the show today. And as always, make sure you check out our channel, subscribe, comment. If you got questions, make sure you ask the questions.
Download, whatever it is, all that shit you got to do.
Yep. And again, we got email on there. So if anybody wants to join the show and share a story of any sort as far as flipping, construction, anything like that, just reach out.
Yeah, because we're around 2013, 14 now. So eventually, I guess 2025, I'm out of stories, man. I need help from everybody.
All right. This is Nailed and Screwed, and we're out.
Later.